All right. So you and I were just talking about this before we came on, as we were trying to sort of unravel all of this. As you put together all the data as of tonight, what do you make of it?
So there's two things that I'm looking at. Number one, there's this sort of marginal shift towards Harris that we've seen over the weekend. You see it in the Iowa poll. We've seen it in a couple of the other polls that are suggesting in those swing states, she's getting a little bit of an advantage. Now, is that because of Madison Square Garden? Is that because she had such a great week? Or is there something different going on? But then there's also all this data that suggests that Trump always overperforms the polls. He did so in 2020. He did so in 2016.
You're a pollster. Have they fixed that problem, right? They keep saying we want to fix the problem. We're going to try and fix the problem. I don't know if there's any way to fix the problem, but
I don't think they have. And here's why. I think one of the things that we know is that in a poll, which I'm going to quote to try and say why polls aren't accurate, 28% of Americans say that they have lied to a family member about who they're going to vote for. Which suggests people just aren't comfortable talking about this or being honest about who they're voting for. And in particular, Trump supporters have a harder time because they've been called Nazis, fascists, and so on and so forth.
Even in red areas, you don't think there'd be some shame on the part of women to admit that they're voting for Harris? I don't know. I'm asking.
So that's a big question, right? We saw there was a commercial out there, and it showed these women going in to vote, acting like they were all in with their husbands voting for Trump. They're like, oh, I'm going to be a secret. So is that really a thing? I don't know that that's as much of a thing as a silent Trump voter. I think it's been 9 years of shame towards Trump voters, and I'm not sure that we've accurately triangulated. So the way that pollsters are trying to figure this out is by saying, who did you vote for last time, and trying to figure out what are the things that make somebody Trumpy, and then applying it to data today. The Trump voter of today is not necessarily a Trump voter of 2020, is not necessarily the voter of 2016. So I think we still could be missing something. Now, could we also be missing the silent?
But it sounds like you think that's more likely.
Yes.
It's more likely, and that would seem to indicate that in a toss-up that Trump wins.
If you had to force me to make a decision right now, I'd say it's leaning towards Trump. But the thing that I don't think we can ever underestimate is women. And I do think that women look at the issue of abortion, they look at women's rights and women's freedoms, and they think, I can't not vote on that.
Real quick, I want to ask you about early voting. Republicans argue high early turnout shows through-the-roof enthusiasm, quote unquote, and quote, election day will be a far steeper climb than usual for Democrats. Democrats arguing that early GOP turnout cannibalizes the usual election day turnout for Republicans, and the number of women who are voting early points to success for Kamala Harris. Who do you think's got the better argument?
I think they both have good arguments, but what I really think is looking at the early turnout, I'm concerned for Democrats that the urban turnout isn't where it needs to be for them to really take it. I also am looking at the female turnout, and I'm saying it's not what it needs to be for them to take it. I think it's slightly less than they expected. It's less than it was in 2020. So I think the slight advantage goes to Republicans. But again,
depends on what happens now on Election Day, right?
Exactly right.
Lee Carter, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.